Brawl, let's get into it.
Here we go. Suzaku Castle, definitely not something you see super often in the 2v2 landscape, but once again, we have the team that defined the current meta versus the team that's trying to set it, right? With their new composition that's been working and achieving great success, but Loras and Kyna, I mean, they've been so hard to stuff out. I'm wondering if it's true, if warming up will be enough for BalloonBoy and Raydish to go ahead and secure this.
The stage, the smallest in the current competitive pool, makes it so difficult to escape the onslaught of hitboxes that this Terros is. The end light comes out, Raydish getting a recovery onto Loras, but getting immediately swatted away with that side air. Side air hits BalloonBoy as well, no KO, but right now, Loras is going crazy on the spear off stage. The ground pound comes out, but Raydish looks to give an assistance to BalloonBoy and his chance to get back to the wall. He does make it back.
Yeah, I mean, BalloonBoy really, whilst coming into play there, was running out of time, but just barely got onto the stage, gets the side air, sends Loras off to the side. Raydish tries to get that combo, gets interrupted, but wow, what a combo. The end stick into the side air from BalloonBoy, and then the ground pound to finish it out, and BalloonBoy and Raydish start off this grand finals with a lead.
A double knockout on the weapon that we were highlighting in the last set. The gauntlets on BalloonBoy are so strong, but Loras showing his strength on the bow. The D-Light into recovery, then a D-Light into N-Light. BalloonBoy just one hit away, and that's going to be the hit. The recovery does find the KO, and Raydish in a 2v1. Astrovoid can see with an N-Light so scary on the left side of the stage, but Kyna isolates a 1v1 with BalloonBoy, and now we go back to that red team stacking on top of each other, getting so much damage on BalloonBoy.
And Kyna just holding down the stage there, ready to anti-air with those stomps. There we see one hits Raydish, but it gets interrupted, so no follow-up. And honestly, that follow-up is the most important part, because that's where all the damage comes in. But man, are they really scrapping out here. BalloonBoy on the left side, Kyna has Raydish on the right, and can BalloonBoy get a turnaround? Gets interrupted by Kyna, but Kyna doesn't get the side air as the follow-up. Raydish goes for a side sig, gravity cancel, but it doesn't connect, and the down sig hits. They are just trading blows, these teams here. Another down sig from Loras is going to secure the knockout. BalloonBoy gets caught by a side light, but that's not going to convert to anything. Kyna with the punish on the whip to side sig, and now they have soared quickly back into the lead.
This is a very big lead as Raydish goes for his signature, GC signature there, but doesn't find the connection. Endlight into downer. Loras and Kyna with an extra stock to play with, look to build this extra credit. Sidelight into side air, going for the big ground pound there. Loras getting the nair to get a chase dodge. No, doesn't go for it. But a double recovery as Raydish is able to pick up on BalloonBoy's recovery, and Kyna now stuck off stage versus BalloonBoy, and Loras gives him a little bit of a boost with that unarmed recovery, and Kyna makes it back on a second stock.
Oh, we ride it now. Goes ahead and hops on the motorcycle, getting a KO with the Akira slide, but Raydish messes up the timing there for that follow-up. Perhaps that this is going to take too long. Was trying to save BalloonBoy. Either way, we have ourselves tied stocks across the board. Kyna's taking no damage. Raydish is looking a little hurt, but he gets for an attempt at a KO off the top there. It's not going to lead to anything. Gets hit by that side air from Kyna. Is going to need some help getting back. Nice aggression from BalloonBoy, but once again, Raydish in the corner. BalloonBoy gets anti-aired, but somehow leaves the stock. And the ground pound gets rid of Raydish. BalloonBoy probably soon to follow. Can he do the 2v1 again? The answer is no. The down air follow-up off of the pass from Loras is going to secure game one for Kyna and Loras, the current holding champions.
They look so good, Kyna and Loras, and it got pretty close towards the end there, but they were able to lock in and get those team conversions when Loras has the spear and Kyna has the hammer. It seems like any hit leads into a KO. You see that signature kit from Loras. Loras' spear has been lights out so far. BalloonBoy has the same weapon in the bow, but the spear has been the big difference maker so far for that Loras Kaya.
Yeah, no, this is one of those things where I'm like, I hope we don't go back to Suzaku Castle, at least for BalloonBoy and Raydish. I feel like I didn't love the stage choice for them. I mean, you know, definitely way more claustrophobic feeling, right? Just way less space to work around. And then you have Kyna with Terros hitboxes commanding so much space, and then similarly, Loras using a weapon like Spear that just by design controls a lot of space, but then also Kaya with those signatures, throwing out those down sigs, it can make it really awkward to figure out where to land. So I'm glad we're going to the Fortress of Lines here for game two, because I think it should bode better for BalloonBoy and Raydish.
Definitely have to agree that top platform will give a lot of space, and the space in general will allow this team that's so good at getting those extended combos to get some damage of their own. But the red team showing off some of their extended combos, going coast to coast with that Loras recovery to put the cherry on top. Nice landing side air there as BalloonBoy and Raydish continue to move around, but really haven't found their footing as the red team are so elusive, kind of taking to the skies, but Raydish sending into BalloonBoy. The side air sends Loras low, but kind of immediately there to assist and interrupt BalloonBoy's edge guard attempt. Loras flips it now with a double side air there. BalloonBoy going low, Raydish going high. One doesn't make it back. Raydish getting hit with the recovery into the wall, and Raydish still alive, but BalloonBoy loses his stock.
Yeah, I mean, BalloonBoy, really tough to get back from there, just kept getting hit further and further away from the stage, didn't have a whole lot of resources, hasn't had a really good chance to try and convert into a team combo with Raydish here either, but they're going to try their absolute best to bring things back. BalloonBoy going to have to play on the back foot here and trust in Raydish a little bit more because he's on that second stock.
Absolutely, you have to lean into your teammate in times like this. The Sider will find its connection onto Kyna, but it doesn't KO him. Nice D-Light off stage on the gravity cancel, but doesn't find a conversion into anything as Kyna continues to interrupt. Nice ground pound from BalloonBoy, unarmed, even unarmed. He is so lethal, as well as that side signature, finding the KO onto Kyna as well.
Yeah, good job using that time while his partner was respawning to go ahead and convert into another team knockout. Now we have the stock count even. BalloonBoy honestly hasn't taken too much damage, all things considered, how long ago he got sent down to a second stock, but it looks like Loras and Kyna are starting to converge a little bit more onto him. The end sig read was correct, but didn't charge it enough. Woo! Wow. Man,
bouncing towards the wall, very aggressive option, but somehow Loras seems to be exactly where he needs to be because he gets a recovery off the sideline. Side air from Kyna and getting the signature as well. Sniping out Raydish, punishing the motorcycle, the side air into the nair, and the red team look lights out.
Yeah, just like that. Both members of the blue team down to their final stocks. You know, it's looking like a bit of a rougher set here for Kyna, but a nice turnaround off the top. Gets an early one, and that forces Kyna down to low. And look at this conversion. The recovery is not going to connect, but that was a massive swing there for the blue team to make this seem much more in the realm of possibility. Now they have a win condition they can work toward.
Get Kyna out of here and force that 2v1. You are in business, but it's going to be hard to us. Kyna is playing so well on this axe. The downlight, the downer onto BalloonBoy. Loras getting sent low, but he's on his second stock, so Kyna doesn't want to risk going off stage to give him assistance. The sider comes out there. GC sidelight as well.
Oh man, and they need to collapse onto Kyna, but that is much easier said than done. And you can see the way that Raydish is kind of hovering around this platform, looking for the opportunity. The recovery's going to connect. It's not enough to KO Loras. BalloonBoy gets hit by the weapon toss, but he's going to be fine, and Raydish gets the sidelight, and then Chase dodges out the way. BalloonBoy gets the recovery to get the knockout on Loras. They have a chance here. Here's the combo. He doesn't get the side air for the follow-up. Huge missed opportunity, but still putting on more pressure on the Kyna here as he's in the corner, fighting his way back with Hammer Sayers.
Sidelight into the nair, the recovery as well to catch BalloonBoy, trying to land, Kyna interrupting with that sidelight, racking on that extra damage, but everyone just taking a moment to breathe here so they can find their way in. Raydish finds his way in with the recovery, chases high. Loras follows up as well. BalloonBoy getting the recovery onto Kyna, but Kyna doesn't get KO'd. Kyna fighting back to side air onto Raydish, and BalloonBoy now in a 2v1. The Pogo sends in low. Loras with the weapon toss, and BalloonBoy is a guess for game away, but he makes it back to the wall. The respect from Loras on the unarmed.
Oh, but he gets disarmed by that neutral air, and that might be the difference here. Tries to get a little bit of something started with this unarmed kit, but it's going to be hard. Gets swatted away. The side air from Loras is going to send them down. 2 games in the set now. Kyna and Loras need to win one more game to be the mid-season 2025 doubles champions. BalloonBoy and Raydish, they have to do it all over again, right? They need a reverse 3-0, get a reset, and then win yet another set. And ain't no one here saying they can't do it, but boy, is it gonna be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were in this position before. This is exactly what Loras said in the interview. He got really, really nervous when he was in that win position. 1 game away from now taking the back-to-back mid-season champion. The question is, can Loras keep up with the pressure? Pressure can crush you or turn you into a diamond, and we'll see if it turns into a win here, a belt maybe for this red team. It's going to be really, really tough for BalloonBoy and Raydish, but they were able to force a game 5 in the winner's final side. We'll see if they can do it here again.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you said it best, right? Like BalloonBoy and Raydish, really strong team. They did so well in the winner's set, right? They were able to force it to go all the way, but now in a position where the pressure doesn't get any higher than this, right? You know, you got the Instapot, you put your pressure setting all the way to maximum, and you're trying to make like the best of meatloaf ever, but like at some point, like you're gonna have to take it out, right? And then test it and cut it and see if it's good. This is that moment. You don't have any other chances or opportunities than this game right here. And we'll see if BalloonBoy and Raydish are able to lock in enough to make the impossible possible. We're going back to Suzaku Castle.
Get into this. It's 1 game away from Kyna and Loras, so raising the belt once again. Can they do it here? We'll have to see. BalloonBoy and Raydish went here in game number 1, didn't find so much success, and BalloonBoy getting put off stage, hasn't picked up a weapon yet as he takes so much damage. Loras going for the recovery off the top, but doesn't find the connection. Raydish fighting back with the orb.
The BalloonBoy on these gauntlets here. They've been doing so well, especially in previous sets and even in the winner set, but this time around, can we convert into something massive? Kyna is able to get these Stomp Sayers, and Loras really is playing the front man here. And then you're getting punished by Kyna.
Oh!
Beautiful dunk. Do we get a ground pound? Tries to get the Nair, just Loras narrowly avoiding that. And maybe the difference maker Kyna again with the Stomp Sayer. Raydish wakes up with a gravity cancel Ensig, and it's going to connect, but then Kyna yet again with the Stomp Sayer. This is the problem. They're getting hits onto Loras, and they're getting punished by Kyna, and Kyna is playing a Teros, you know? You can't have that be the dude who gets the last laugh.
The recovery comes out now, and Kyna still holding on to his first stock, but the weapon toss into the recovery is going to be able to take it as BalloonBoy finds that side light, as well as the weapon tosses onto Loras. So now the blue team equalized the stocks. It's not over quite yet.
One thing I will say about BalloonBoy and Raydish is that they never allow the game to get so far out of the realm of possibility. Even when they end up behind, they find those stocks relatively quickly and keep it a close game. Raydish on the right side, actually getting a read on Kyna there, landing that down sig. But do you want to leave him in the 1v1 there? Do you want to play this offstage game, or should you collapse together?
Raydish looking for those KOs off the top, the signs of life showing, but it might not be enough. The ground pound does find Kyna those. He's able to save him, but lands him into the ground pound as well. And BalloonBoy looking for the reversal. GC Ensig, but it gets hit by the pogo. BalloonBoy still making it back somehow, getting a clean KO onto Kyna.
Yeah, I love the play from BalloonBoy, but Loras, wait, BalloonBoy might be able to get a second one here, gets a little greedy, and gets that dunk off the corner, and the ground pound, and the weapon throw, and he covers it with the BalloonBoy is out of this world! He said, it's not gonna end here. We're gonna have a 2v1 for Loras against Raydish and BalloonBoy. BalloonBoy loses his penultimate stock, but he has another one to work with. Loras, if you make this happen, you are the undisputed GOAT of 2v2, because I think we're staring down the barrel of a game number 4.
Oh my goodness, BalloonBoy has willed this into existence, but can Loras win it here? He said he was nervous on the interview. Do those nerves mean something bad for the red team as the blue team get a team combo, but drop it there as the downer sends downwards into the wall?
And I love the fact that BalloonBoy just starts charging that side stick because he knows what's coming. The ground pound conversion, one more opening is all they need here. And the dunk as the follow-up. BalloonBoy and Raydish, just like the winner's side set, went on the brink of despair. Wake up in true shonen protagonist fashion. This is when they are at their strongest.
He's the hero of this story and willed it into existence. The Gauntlets did so much in that game. BalloonBoy somehow found every possible edge guard, every possible angle to flip it and find KOs, and that will and that power is so inspirational. We'll see if Raydish can match it in this next game, if they can force this reset. Because, oh my goodness, BalloonBoy was playing amazing. We go right back to Suzaku Castle.
Yeah, BalloonBoy, I mean, is making like all-time plays, right? If that's what it takes to win here, that's a lot of pressure, man. You got a lot of games to do that in, so hopefully they're able to get an easier game plan. Raydish not able to convert off of that side stick, but still they're holding onto that momentum. BalloonBoy yet again chasing, tries to get things off the recovery. Raydish trying to cover a little bit of the extra space with that Ensig, but that's not going to connect. But they need to reconvene. When they are playing together, they're at their absolute peak. When they split up, that's when I start to get nervous, PJ.
Ryder comes in there and kind of gets sent off stage. The blue team look very solid at holding center stage, but Loras does interrupt. Raydish getting the side air onto Kyna, into the GC Ensig onto Loras. The Nair does catch Kyna, but Kyna is able to make it back. Loras without a weapon though, still fighting unarmed. They are scrapping right now, Flambeau.
Yeah, they're looking for that first stock advantage, and you can tell they're playing a little bit more reserve now. That side air is going to make it tough for BalloonBoy. Has to get back unarmed, uses the exhausted recovery to get back, but Raydish gets caught. And I don't know if BalloonBoy's gonna be able to get back here. He does use the unarmed down air. He's just trying to hang on. Raydish gets the unarmed recovery. It's not gonna connect. Now they have an opportunity for a 2v1. That was a crazy sequence they went for there to try to edge guard him. But luckily, Raydish.
Team damage and a team KO from Kyna, which leads to the stock being lost on Loras. Kyna now the only person with his first stock.
Okay, what are BalloonBoy and Raydish going to do here? They're biding their time. They're trying to wait for the opportunity to come to them. They're not trying to force it, and I respect it. That side air not going to be enough. There's been multiple times throughout the day that D-Light, N-Light's going to be enough to convert, and a potential team combo. The Nair's going to hit. This could be bad for Raydish. No, Raydish gets back, and then BalloonBoy says, you know what, I'll do it myself. He has activated his Infinity Gauntlet.
He's looking so solid here now. Continues to put this pressure on with the Gauntlets, kind of sending Raydish off stage, but BalloonBoy immediately stepping forward. The red team having to respect him because they know what his Gauntlets can do. Sidelight into the dodge read, ground pound, and BalloonBoy has to make it back with a GC Ensig. Hits Kyna on the way back up. That burns the dodge though. That's a full combo.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough here. I mean, the blue team in yet again another spot where they have to make an immaculate game-winning play here to swing the tide of battle because things are not looking good. Kyna hits both of them with that side air. Things are starting to look dire. Luckily, Raydish only halfway through his last stock has a lot more to play here, but they need to find stocks too. And that side sig's a great way to do it. We're sending Loris down to the final stock. Here's a team combo, and the side sig is going to be enough. They brought it down to a last stock game, and BalloonBoy still has more of this second stock to work with.
The BalloonBoy Gonks have been so good at breaking the mold and getting these big open ups, and the red team seem to have an answer, but finally find one there with an Elite Indecider. The Pogo hits Raydish. The 2v1 avoids the there somehow.
You need to survive here!
No, the recovery comes up, but Raydish lives, hits the down.
Raydish gets caught!
Catches it with a down like Indecider.
He's still alive, but for how much longer? That's going to be tapping it in. BalloonBoy runs over to save him, but he will not have the opportunity. Kyna and Loris are this close to being a champion. Look at this team combo. It's not enough, but one more conversion is all it takes for Kyna and Loris to lock this one in.
Not over yet. BalloonBoy is known for these clutches in the 2v1, but Kyna gets it there. The recovery almost takes it off the top, but not quite enough. BalloonBoy with one more chance at life.
Yeah, one stomp is all it takes. Tries to go for the Hail Mary. The Pogo's going to put him in a bad spot. Has his dodge back and gets caught by the active frames, and that's going to be Kyna and Loris proving why they're going to be back-to-back mid-season CEO doubles champions.
A heroic effort from BalloonBoy in game number 3 to force game 4, but Kyna and Loris were too solid and able to become your back-to-back mid-season champions. The belt goes back to the South Americans.